So I've been doing some work on my test bench. It's actually coming together quite well now. So the bench, it's pretty much looks similar to it was before. We've kept the same power supply, we've kept the same switches, all the things that we 3D printed. But we've had a bit of a change out on the motherboard. So we've swapped the motherboard that was originally on this for pretty much a very similar thing. It's an Asus A320MK. I just found that it was just things were placed a little bit better on this board for a test bench, and it works very well. We've also upgraded the CPU, and instead of running the AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, we're now running an AMD Ryzen 5 1600, so I managed to pick one of them up pretty good priced, and it actually compares a lot better for the benchmarks that we were doing. It's much more of the equivalent of what general people are using more than anything. It's a little bit older, but it's still a good processor and it performs really well. We've kept the same memory, so it's still got 16 GB of the XPG, D60 3000 MHz. But now we do have to have a bit of a change, because obviously this won't run anymore with just onboard graphics, because there isn't any in this processor, so we're always going to have to run it with a graphics card. Now, because I've swapped the processor and the board, I'm having to rerun my graphics card benchmarks again. So we've got the Radeon RX 560 that we put in the AMD Tribute build. We've got that back out again. We've put it on this board and we're going to do some benchmarking with it. I think we're going to change the way that we do benchmarks as well, because using Tomb Raider wasn't working out too well, so we're going to actually use a piece of benchmarking software that you can get. If you want to see more on the benchmarks, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to see some more things coming out of it. Or check my website where I'm putting the results and collating a bit of a leaderboard for the graphics cards. One of the other additions that we've made to the test bench so far is just at the rear here. So I've not opted for an M2 SSD drive on this one. I'm actually going to go with something a bit more standard. This is the drive that I've pulled out the AMD Tribute as well, just to test the bench, make sure it all works, and test the bracket. This bracket I've 3D printed, and it simply attaches the hard drive onto the front, and then used a 90-degree angle to get the SATA power and the SATA cable to go underneath instead of sticking out the side. It works really well. It actually tidies it up quite a lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print another one of these brackets, and I'm going to mount another drive next to it, possibly with a lot of the files on it, so the benchmarking files and that. So when I do need to reinstall the drive that goes on this, I can just copy them straight over. I'll probably just fit a standard mechanical drive. This is one that actually came out of an old laptop, and it works really well. It's not very noisy. I don't think it was used for very long, to be honest. Great laptops fail nowadays from the people I know that use them. They generally haven't had much use at all. So this is a 250 gig mechanical 2.5 gig drive. What I'm going to do is I'll mount that onto the side, similar to this one, and that'll give us some great upgrade capability. And these are the updates that we've made so far. If you want to make sure that you keep up to date with the different pieces that I'm going to plug onto this, because originally I made it out of this channel and stuff so that I can add more to it as time goes on, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like on this video, and I'll see you again soon.